let's hear from NIkko, big number 52. What did that mean, growing up here in the Valley, watching all those Fresno State, Boise State games, and now being on a team that beats the Broncos?
It was big, you know. It was good for our fans. It was good for me, especially as my first win against those guys. And you know, I had a lot of former players, a lot of my old teammates like Logan Harrell, Kenny Wiggins, and stuff like that were hitting me up and saying that's a good job, doing something I never did before, and things like that. So that was good, you know. We celebrated the win that night and a little bit of Saturday, but you know, it's time to move on now a little bit, and it's we're looking forward to Hawaii being 1-0 this week.
What did you say to Jonathan after he made that play? I saw you on ESPN talking to him on the sideline a little bit.
I told him, you need to stop charging me for haircuts now since you're big time, and things like that. I just said, good job, man. You came a long way from him giving me haircuts in his apartment and not being on scholarship. And I told him, look what you're doing now. You just made one of the biggest plays that I've been a part of. And you know, he kind of teared up a little bit and didn't really say much, kind of lost for words, but that was pretty much it. It was just a bunch of stuff like that and just loving him up.
Does it mean something special? I'm sorry. Does it mean something extra when a guy like that makes a big, I mean, a non-star player, a non-starter, a guy that only teammates know well, that fans really don't know? Does that mean something more to
It does. I mean, it's always big when you always see me loving up I'm one of the most fiery guys. I'm always loving up my teammates and stuff like that. But from Jonathan Norton, a guy that was, you know, he's a walk-on, earned it, one of the hardest workers on our team, and for him to make a play like that against a big-time team, it was just something special. You know what I mean? It's something we expect. You know, we're not surprised by a lot of things. Coach Toth always says it. It doesn't matter if we're going to win 3-0 or we got to get a stop and it was 42, 41 or whatever it was. You know what I mean? We just don't be surprised. We go out there and make plays. But that was something special for that guy to do. He's one of my good friends, and it was just something special.
NIkko, when you said you spent Friday night and Saturday night celebrating PG-13, can you tell us what you actually did to celebrate?
Honest,
was this a huge win?
To be honest, some of my teammates were kind of upset because I didn't go out. I played 80 snaps, you know, and my body was kind of feeling it. And I stayed in with family. We watched the game on ESPN that night, so I stayed up pretty late, 2 or 3. You know, my family was down. I'm from here, so there's 25 to 30 people at my house, and we're all just rewatching the game and things like that. And then Saturday, a little bit in the morning, me and my dad went out to breakfast and we talked about it, and then he was telling me it's time to move on. And you know, it's still early in the season. Our goals are not. We have a long way to go. It's not even close to what we want to do and things like that.
More questions?
What was it like? The game seemed to be going your way for most of it, and then suddenly Boise with 7 minutes left goes up, and you're like you mentioned, it's the first time you've beaten this team. Did you guys get a moment of here we go again, or what was the conversation?
It was a little bit with this team. We trust each other. You know what I mean? And when they got that touchdown to go up, and I knew DC came up to me and said, "Don't even worry about it." He's like, "We got this." And when DC said that, I said, "You know what? We're going to be back on the field again, and we have to get the stop." So we got another crack at it, you know. And with this team, we don't really panic too much, you know. With Rutgers, we didn't really panic, and with these guys, we didn't really panic. You know, it's Derek's one of the best leaders I've ever been around. I've been around some good ones as far as just a bunch of them, Ryan Matthews, guys like that. And Derek he stays calm. He said, "You know what? Just give me the ball back, and we'll do it, and you'll have another crack at him again." So when he said that, it kind of calmed me down a little bit. There's always a little nerves when they go up with that little time, and DC came through, and we just got to stop.
NIkko, what do you think about your first road trip being back in Hawaii?
Coach kind of hit on the nail. He'll probably say some stuff about it. I kind of said some things already on Twitter, and I said some stuff to my teammates this morning. Doesn't matter who we're playing over there. Last time we left that place, we left with a sour taste in our mouth. It's not what we are. It's not what we're about. It was on national TV, so it doesn't matter if we were playing Alabama or Appalachian State. It doesn't really matter who we're playing there. We're going there for a football game, and we need to get a win on that island.
To jump and add to that, when you guys go on the road, how do you try to find as much normalcy as you can? Obviously, at home in the Deruta area, you guys are undefeated, but when you guys go, whether it's going to be Wyoming down the road or whether it's going to be Hawaii and you have that travel schedule, how do you try to keep things normal so that you guys can play like you do at home?
What I try to do most of the time is I just try to stay in my room. I'm not a real guy that likes to go out or likes to explore things and things like that. We do our meetings, we stay focused, we watch some games on TV, we hang around, we play cornhole, we play dominoes, things like that all together. So more of like a family atmosphere, so we're not really thinking about tapping these things and other things like that. But Coach DeVito does a good job of that stuff and getting us focusing on the game. And I heard him saying some stuff about us not being near the beach or whatever, which is not a big deal. I don't even like waves that much. I just like our wet wave here, so I'm not worried about it.
You guys travel with cornhole boards?
Yeah, they travel a lot of things. I think we have a cornhole. It's a smaller one though. It's not these big giant ones, but I'm the best one at that game. So
That was my next question. Are you the champ?
I'm the champ at that. Devontae probably says he is, but I beat him a couple times. Me and Coach Toe. So I think I'm the best at that.
The Rutgers game, they got far enough to have that field goal try in the last second, and you were pretty helpless in that moment, just hoping that he would miss. How much do you think that kind of played into your guys' ability to stop them out? Was that a motivator to not let the game get to that point, to do something and control it yourself?
You're talking about the Rutgers field goal?
So Boise didn't get that far to have the field goal try. You guys didn't cut it quite so close against Boise.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we did a good job of stopping them. We got to third down. I think Carl made a play on third down. The guy dropped the ball. He made a play on it, and then it went to 4. So, I mean, then they were converting a lot of third downs. You know what I mean? And they got to 4th, and I was like, here we go. Someone has to make a play, and the unsung hero was Jonathan Norton. So, it was big time.
I mean, defense has been on the field for the clinching plays against Rutgers and against Boise State. Do you take is that something that can help with your confidence down the road? Do you take special pride in that?
We do. I mean, like I said, Coach Tully says it the best as far as it doesn't matter if we're going to win a game 63-62. That last play is what matters the most. You can't just keep dwelling on things. They got those, I think, 21 unanswered they had or something like that, and you don't hang your head. You know what I mean? It's the next play that's going to matter, and the play, like you don't think about 2 plays from now. You don't think about the last play. The play now is what you worry about. So Coach Tully does a great job in getting our mind focused and getting us what we need to focus on.
How would you assess the defensive pressure that the front 3 have been able to generate?
We've been okay. I mean, we need a little more production, but it's some of the schemes how Coach DeRue was saying it. But as far as myself, Tyler, and Andy and Todd Hunt, guys that get a lot of reps, we don't like making a lot of excuses. We haven't been doing the job we need to do up front as far as getting pressure and doing what we like to do. But when teams max protect and they hold the fullback in and they're cut blocking and they're holding 7 or 8 guys in to max protect and running 2-man routes, it's kind of tough to get in there. But like I said, we're not making excuses. I think Tyler got his first sack this last game, and Andy's been kind of dinged up. I'm not really going to talk on that, but he's not 100%. So he's kind of missing on there. So I think my play especially needs to pick up a little more as far as getting pressure on the quarterback, and I put a lot of that on myself. So.
NIkko, you talked before about how Derek Carr was poised and how much he means to this team. What do you think about the DC for Heisman campaign?
He's the best. He's the best. I don't know. All these quarterbacks I see on TV, I watch a lot of football. I'm always on Twitter and things like that. Teddy Bridgewater and Manziel and all that stuff. DC's my guy, man. I was at his wedding. Maybe I'm biased or whatever, but whatever. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. He's the man. He's the GOAT. He's just, I don't know, like how can you not be around? He's just calm. He doesn't panic or anything, doesn't yell at anybody. He's relaxed, you know what I mean? He gets sacked. He doesn't really yell unless he really needs to. But other than that, he's real calm. He puts a lot of pressure on himself, and I like that. So we need to come through for guys like that when the times are tough and we need to get a stop, and you know what I mean? Let him get that game-winning drive like he did.
You mentioned that friendship with DC. You and he are some of the 5-year guys in this program. Do you guys that all came in together in that class, you feel like you have a special bond, and what kind of difference do you think that can make for this team?
We do. I think we have a lot of good leadership on this team. Guys that came in 09, as far as Marcel Jensen and Austin Whitworth are guys that graduated in 08, but they gray shirted, so they came in the spring, so they're still part of my class. And as far as guys like that, like really bring leadership in the role and know what to expect. We've had the coaching changes. We've had Coach Hill. We've had these guys, and we know we've been on both ends. We've been on losing teams, and now we're kind of winning a little bit more. So we kind of know what to expect. Like we can't take things for granted. We're patting ourselves on the back Friday, and that was a good win. It's good for this program, good for the fans, good for this community. But it's not where we're stopping at. It's not. We have a long way to go, and we just got to get better every day.
Each team has a different identity year to year, even though, like you just mentioned, a lot of the guys are new. We talked to Coach Toth a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about how last season, it wasn't until week 5 or 6 where defensively you guys really came together and figured out what your identity was going to be. Do you feel like you're still working on that for this season?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, as far as this defense, we've given up a lot of points, and it's a lot of things. It's not just one specific little position or one person. With defense, we all got to work together. And we just got to grind it out at practice, watch film, and get together, and this thing will turn around. We'll start getting these points down and start causing more turnovers. We're not doing a bad job, but it can always be better, you know. And we need to buckle down a little more on defense. And I think we take pride in that. How the offense has been just putting up points. And, you know, we need to slow it down a little bit and let's get some stops and let's get some more turnovers so we can get some more points on the board.